This is a Poeartistry Gold Moment by the author James Lynch.
Perceptive reader, how fast can you blink your eye? You think 1 billionth of a second? Maybe not that fast, but all the same, I'm sure they can tell you what's the average blink, the speed that your eye goes. Well, when I think about that, I think about light bulbs. I think about epiphanies, where you get something in less than a second. A bright idea that has a lot entailed in it, a lot of information in it. And even though you can state it in probably one sentence, I'm just saying it can take an accumulation of everything that you've learned up to that point that factored into that epiphany as well. Now think about it. For a person to actually go to the pearly gates, you know what I mean when I say pearly gates? Well, they say, artist renditions and things, cartoons, that when a person ends their life course, whether in their sleep or through illness or something of that nature, the ones who God want to talk to, they like to place them before the pearly gates, in heaven. And all of this happens in less than a blink of a second for their bodies to totally be changed, if you will, to that form. Now, remember, when people are still in the present bodies that we have right now, it's considered, according to the scriptures, corruptible in many ways. Not just that it's, growing older, and older, as we get up in years, 100 years old, 110 or whatever, but also this works on our mind, our hearts, and our minds. But in particular, since we're talking about epiphanies, I'm talking about the mind. So there are still ways of thinking. In one sense, we're always growing, but then in other ways, we may actually digress or revert back as well. Sometimes in older age, people will say about an individual or person that they've known practically all their life that, I've actually watched you become more sentimental in this way and that way. And so what they're saying is something that didn't bother this individual before on an empathetic level in this way or that way, guess what? It does now. So in some ways, it's showing growth, but maybe in other ways, what another person will say, because this has been referenced before, that sometimes in their sentimentality, at the same time, they let their grandchildren get away with stuff that they didn't let them get away with. So they're not looking at that as a good thing, as always. But all the same, this is what I want to say about the epiphany, about growth, about the pearly gates and things of that nature. We are still receiving an education every day from God in a variety of ways. You hear people talk about their belief systems. The Holy Bible talks about faith. The Holy Bible still talks about as a remembrance in this education work. You see what I'm saying? As a remembrance, that's why we should still set aside a special time. It really is supposed to be every day. You see what I'm talking about? Where we meditate to God, we have affirmations and prayers and things of that nature. But there is one special time, more special than any other, and it happens to be what they call the memorial of Christ's death, the remembrance of Jesus Christ, and the observance of Jesus Christ. And that has to do with the Last Supper. So with all of that being in mind, April 12th is actually that special day of the year, the most specialist one for many people around the world than any other day. And guess what? More than any other day, than even their, as they say, B-day or birthday. So I just thought I would share that with you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And you know what? Enjoy this Poeartistry Gold moment. Take care.